nowadays, like selling online is supposed to be like this ultra complicated thing where you need to worry about taxes and APIs and whatnot. But I think it's actually quite simple if you make it simple for yourself. And you do this by using a few tools. Like one of the tools is a Monero GUI wallet, which you can get on getmonero.org. And the other tool is just a website. And how to set up this website, like the process, like I will show this to you now. So to have a website, you will have to have a VPS, and you can get a VPS by buying one from a VPS provider like DigitalOcean, for example, but you could use any other VPS provider, it doesn't really matter. So this example, like I will use DigitalOcean as an example in this video. So we just log into the website, and then we create a new project, and it doesn't really matter what you fill in here, like they just ask a bunch of questions, and yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, also the other thing you will need is like a domain. So if you have a domain, like for example, I use my domain name here as a name for the project, but it really doesn't matter, like, yeah. And here they ask other questions, like, why do they care? It's none of their business. Okay, so the next step is you go to Marketplace, and then you go to deploy a one-click WordPress install. So you go there, and then you go on the right, you can already see the button, Create WordPress Droplet. Like this is the most important button, and you just click on this button. Yeah, now you need to select a few things. Like you can basically select the cheapest VPS for now, like it doesn't matter. And you should pick like a location close to you, so the latency is lower. And then you just click on Create Droplet. And now it's installing. So the next step is important. Like you need to go and buy yourself a domain. Like I already did this, but yeah, you just need to go out and buy one. Like you see, like there are many different registrars, like GoDaddy, HostGator, Namecheap, like to name a few. You just pick one, you go buy your domain, and then on this website of your registrar, you just input like these 3 name servers. You don't really need to understand what this is. You just put in these 3 name servers, and then your domain is connected to DigitalOcean, and you can proceed from there. So in DigitalOcean, we can now add our domain, and we will connect it to our VPS that we just created, like the WordPress thing. So we will add 2 domains, one with the @ symbol and the other with www, and we will direct it to the WordPress VPS that we just installed. It's really not complicated. And then we should click on Create Record. Like one time for the @ symbol, and then the other time for www. Okay, so now our domain is connected to the WordPress instance, and now we do some stuff in the WordPress install. So we need to go to this VPS, and we need to go into this console, and then this weird browser window will open here. But it looks scary, but it's actually really straightforward. So they would just ask you a bunch of more questions, and then, I mean, you just need to just insert your domain name there. Like, it's not really hard. Just type your domain name, then press enter. Then your email address. Then your username for logging in into the WordPress later. And a password, a title for your website. I mean, you can type anything there, but yeah, you can also change this later. It's no big deal. Yeah, it's correct. You press Y. And then they ask you for an SSL certificate. You just press Y to generate this SSL certificate. Yeah, they want you to enter your email again. And yeah, we agree. Then we say no, like it's none of their business. And here we need to decide like what we want to activate for, and you just leave it blank, press enter. You want all of them. Okay, so the next step is to generate like this SSL certificate and use it with the command on the left. Like you can see like the cert word -- Apache and then -d and then your domain and then www.yourdomain. Like there's the -d and then one time your domain and then -d and then www and then your domain, and that's it. And you just copy it and paste it into this console and then press enter. Easy. Yeah, here I select redirect. So if somebody comes to the HTTP address, he automatically gets redirected to SSL. So like if you don't understand, it doesn't matter. It just means that like the connection between you and your customers encrypted. Okay, now we can log into our new website that we built. And the first step there is to install a plugin, which is called WooCommerce. Like it's W, then two O's, and then commerce. And you search this in the plugins. So yeah, I think it's quite obvious. Press enter to search and then install now. Now we're installing WooCommerce. It's basically the thing that makes our website into a shop. And then we click activate. Yeah, no, they will ask you a bunch of stupid questions like address and all kinds of things. You will just put in your address. And yeah, they ask more questions. I don't get it. Yeah, I choose downloads here because I want to sell something digital. And then I choose a theme. I just choose the storefront theme. Okay, the next step will be like one more plugin, which is like our connection to Monero. Monero is basically like digital cash. It just works like cash, but on the internet, without the government and without the banks. Really nice. So we just search for Monero in this plugin directory and make sure that it's by the Musu, Forge, and Seahawk, and you press on install again, like this Monero WooCommerce extension. Next step is to launch your console again, like the thing we did before with making the SSL certificate and so on. And then we need to type a command in there. It's like sudo apt, like with some like space in between, and then install, and then php-bcmath. I will also put like the stuff in the show notes, so you can just copy it. You don't need to type this yourself. Yeah, just press Y if they ask you with Y. Okay, and the next thing is like we just need to restart the service, like the Apache service, for good measure. So yeah, like this thing needs to be restarted. So we just type service and then Apache to reload. Okay, so now it starts to get interesting. You need to like get your GUI wallet ready. Like you need to go to getmonero.org and download this this program, and you need to start it. And you see, like now I have like a GUI wallet here started with the name test. And what you need to do is in the Monero WooCommerce settings, like you see on the left, Monero payment settings, you go to settings, and then you put in your Monero address, and you put in your secret view key, which means that your server can see when you receive new money from your clients, from your customers. And what this enables, I mean, with other blockchains or with other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum, all this kind of garbage, it means that like everybody can see what what you receive and what you send. But with Monero, it's more like cash, like nobody can see until you explicitly show them your money. And another important thing, like you see the secret spend key here. Like now, if you could use this key to spend my money, but obviously I use a different wallet. You can just make a new wallet. Never show these kind of keys to anyone. Otherwise, they can just take your money. It's like, I mean, it's like showing someone your secret stash of cash, basically. Yeah, you just copy this into the VPS, like this, the view key. And then you go to save changes. Yeah, and now you just need to add a product. I mean, I just make here one example. Like if you need any further help, you can just give me a token of your appreciation and I will help you out, like making your small little internet lemonade stand to sell your lemonade or whatever else you want to sell to the people. Yeah, it's basically self-explanatory. Just play around with it. There's nothing that can really go wrong. You can also like have downloadable files that automatically get sent to customers after they buy a product. I mean, I would just personally onboard people because you can just write your customers an email. It's also like simpler than just automating everything in the beginning, which might not even be necessary if like, yeah. And then the other thing is like, maybe you want to switch the currency to something that your clients or your customers that most probably use. I mean, you will still get paid in Monero, but you can just list the price of the item in a different currency. So I decided to switch away from Afghanis to US dollars. Yeah, okay, now I will show you the process, how it looks like from your clients or your customers when they buy your stuff. They just go to add cart, like very simple, and proceed to check out. Just put in your address, like the stuff the customer would do. And obviously, if you want to buy my token of appreciation, I urge you to like put in an email address where I can reach you, so that yeah, we can talk and I can help you with setting up your Monero store. Okay, after the buyer would place the order, they would just like copy this address into their wallet. Like you see now, like I have a different wallet here, like the buyer wallet, and I just copy this address into my wallet and send, and yeah, the amount, and then hit the send button. Basically, it's very easy. And then it would just like take a few minutes after you pressed OK here, and then basically the money will be in the seller's account. So on the seller side, it would look like this. Like you have these orders in the WooCommerce plugin, and you can see like, okay, this is paid, and you're just waiting for the confirmation to happen. So after you have the confirmation, you have the money. And yeah, you can also see the email address of the customer. So in this case, I would send you an email and give you access to a Discord channel, and we can talk and work together on solving problems and setting up your shop or whatever.